Howdy darlings, it's NutMeggles. It's the 26th day of VEDA. And today we're going to wrap up my trilogy on TV, or television, by talking about The Simpsons. Couldn't resist. It's a little weird. I don't have a shout out or art today, but I have surprisingly little Simpsons merchandise considering I like them a lot. The Simpsons, sort of similar to West Wing, for me, in that I own them on DVD and I watch them over and over and over and over and over and over again. Before Netflix, they have influenced me in a lot of ways. So yeah, I knit to The Simpsons a lot, so I could probably quote you, I could definitely quote you a lot of seasons 4, 5, and 6. My favorite episode is probably Last Exit to Springfield. I did not realize until recently that was a lot of people's favorite episode, but it makes a lot of sense. That's where a lot of Simpsons jokes and references come from. Where's my burrito? Tying an onion to your belt, which was the style at the time. The whole thing about the dental plan, the whole thing about the dentist, that's in that episode. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I haven't watched new Simpsons. I can't tell you the last new episode of The Simpsons I watched. And after season 10, it's done. The reason that the Simpsons were so great and resonated with so many people, and a lot of people love Bob's Burgers now, and call it, I think I've heard people refer to it as the new Simpsons or what the Simpsons used to be, is the characters were nuanced. Homer's an idiot, but he loves his family. He loves Marge and he loves Lisa and he wants to do things for them, like in Lisa the Beauty Queen. He's trying to make her feel better about herself. Bart is a bad kid. He does destructive things and fails classes, but he loves his sister. He feels bad after he throws her centerpiece into the fire. He looks out for her when Allison is a new person in school. Marge is not the virtuous saint that she thinks she is. She puts her family through the ringer in order to get into the country club. And Lisa is very smart and very unacknowledged, but also oftentimes, no fun and frustrating. But has a sweet, sensitive side and loves jazz and loves the happy little elf. In more recent seasons, a lot of that has gone away. Homer's just become an idiot. Marge is just shrill. Bart is just a hellion who doesn't care about anyone. And Lisa's just a nasal know-it-all. And Maggie, of course, just continues to not say anything. And that's frustrating. It loses a lot of the color of the characters. It loses a lot of the wonderfulness of the characters. But I'm glad The Simpsons exists. I'm glad that I've been able to enjoy it so much and quote it back and forth to so many of my friends. So I said I didn't have a shout out, but I've decided I'm just going to mention a couple of things. First, there's a podcast called Everything's Coming Up Podcast, which is a reference to Everything's Coming Up Millhouse. One of my favorite things to randomly say whenever a small victory is achieved, because life is full of small victories amongst all of the huge failures. So Everything's Coming Up Podcast is fun. They have a guest each time, and they just discuss that guest's favorite episode. So the other shout out I'm going to mention is kind of a double one. My friend Lauren watched The Simpsons before I did. I didn't watch The Simpsons as a kid that much, but Lauren did, and she and I did a project in 6th grade. I wonder if she remembers this. She talked about The Simpsons, and I talked about Toy Story. I don't remember how we came to that, but there you go. So Lauren kind of introduced me to The Simpsons. So thank you for that. And my mother bought me my first Simpsons DVDs. She bought most of them for me. So both of them have been shout outs before, but they deserve to be acknowledged. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Simpsons episode is, if you have one. If you never watched it, why not? My husband tells me the reason he didn't really watch The Simpsons as a kid. They were watching it a little while in their after school care, and then his brother referred to something sucking, that sucks, and he was about 6. We weren't allowed to watch The Simpsons anymore. I love that story, because that was the story of so many kids in the 90s. A lot of kids were not allowed to watch The Simpsons because Bart Simpson was a bad influence. That was part of our culture. So I hope you all are having a great week. I will see you tomorrow. DFTBA. Love and hugs.